Hi, this is John. I want to do a detailed overview on this RFN. It's an exciting bike, electric bike, and I think it's going to be a winner. So let's have a detailed look at this bike. So first of all, I love the seat. The seat feels good. It's quite narrow, but it's comfortable, and it's able to get you to move backwards and forwards like you should be able to on a bike. Underneath is a wing nut. If you lift that off, the whole seat lifts up. Underneath is this bungee cord. We had to try and work out what it was for, but it's for storage, so you can put a water bottle, your wallet, your phone, strap it in. So that's an interesting feature. It disconnects by moving these buttons out. Once you take both of those buttons out, the whole thing pops off. So that's quite a neat feature. As far as the battery goes, there's a clasp here and a lever down the front. And what you do is you move the lever outwards, which releases the battery here. And you take off this cover. And if you come around here, you'll see it's got a beautiful little strap, got all your connectors, and you can lift out your battery and swap your battery over. So it seems fairly stable at the moment. It's really wedged in there. It's not going to bounce around. And it goes in quite quickly. Again, you put your lever down, and then you tighten up your clasp at the front to get it to lock in. So not too bad. Got myself stuck there. So this layout's pretty good. Now what they're saying is you can remove this seat altogether, ride it like a trials bike if that's what you want to do. It's not really that hard. Just pull the pins, 1, 2, and then basically the seat's off, and ride it like that. Not sure, but you know, hey, it's a feature. So that's quite unique and well designed. So these pins go back in and they lock off as well. So I'll put that in. What else with this? Okay, so seating position and ergonomics is really good. If we stay up with the bars, now the bars aren't the wider 32mm mountain bike style. These are more of a motorcycle style, and they have a hard connected section to your triple clamps. So personally, the rise is incorrect. It needs to be a bit higher. That's a personal preference and easy fix. The brakes, they use a similar setup to the Surron, but they do appear to be a little bit better in their design. They have a looks like a braided cable setup with hard connections rather than the mountain bike style on the Surron. So that's quite good. Their discs, let's have a look at the size. I don't know if I can see the size on that. I believe it's bigger than a 203. Can't quite see the size. We'll have to check that out later and see what size disc it is. While we're here, let's look at the forks. So we've measured the forks. They're the same stanchion tube size as the Surron X, but these tubes up here are definitely more robust, which will make them a little bit stiffer. So we'll see how that goes with time over jumps, etc. The brake calipers are the same as the Surron, but the hubs, definitely the hubs are beefier. These are CNC 7075 aluminium, and they've got a better rim setup and straight pulled spokes. So that's a winner. The tyre, this is a 70 by 119 CST. I can't see what make it is, doesn't say. It's saying it's a Fram Special. So compound is quite soft. It's going to be quite grippy. Probably not going to get long wear, but you know, grip is usually more important. It has neat plastics on it. Reasonable quality, so that's good. Has this round little speedo. Well, it's not actually speedo. It's just a dial gauge which gives you some basic information when you light it up. So you need to hold the brakes on for a couple of seconds, and then it says it's ready. This is your battery state of charge. So red is obviously low and right up. So this is a bit over 50% at the moment. And you'll notice there's 3 modes: tortoise, rabbit, and rocket. So that's switchable by this button here. Whichever one is flashing is the one that's actually working. So that's flashing rocket, so you'll have rocket. If you were flashing rabbit, you've got rabbit mode. And if you're flashing the tortoise, you've got tortoise mode. So tortoise mode is, yeah, quite slow. It's like your standard Surron speed. Your rabbit mode is nearly identical to the fast sport mode on the Surron X, and the rocket mode gives you a lot more kick. So that's a bonus. But as we've said in other videos, that appears to be on a timer, a 10-second timer. The factory is looking at making that more permanent, and that's interesting. It does have a feature here, which is a reverse button. If we press this little black button underneath and hold it in, the bike will go in reverse, and it doesn't matter, it doesn't change the throttle, it just goes by itself in reverse. You can see it there turning now at a set speed. Wherever you're holding it, you go in reverse, you let go and it stops. So it doesn't matter about the throttle. Okay, so that's your controls. The controls are quite well laid out. It's got an electronic throttle, just like the Surron. So adjustable rebound and compression, which is nice. You'd expect that. Rear fender, it's definitely a better setup than your other bikes like the Surron. It's going to protect you more from dirt, which is good. It's got this shock flap in here already to protect your shock from mud, which is quite good. These covers here, so that's basically a good feature, that it has the swing arm pivot on the center of the motor shaft, which means that your chain can keep tight all the time. So like the Surron, that's a good feature. So this comes off, and this is where your bearings are for your swing arm. The swing arm seems quite robust. It's quite thick. It's got a lot of structure to it. We'll see if it has flex. We haven't had it under really hard conditions yet, but we'll just see how that goes. Foot pegs, stainless steel, more motorcycle grade, plenty of grip, quite robust. Doesn't appear that there's any room for a brace, like these are suspended back. So whether it needs a brace, it looks quite robust, but time will tell to see if it does need anything extra to give that more stability. As far as the rear wheel goes, as we've said, it's a it's an 18 by 1.85 with CNC hub, straight pull spokes, so that's really a bonus. It has this long stand which is connected to the swing arm, which is good. On the Surron, it's connected to your foot peg brace, so that's a point of difference. So this is going to follow your swing arm as it goes up and down. Not a bad thing, it's just quite long. Battery. So if we have a look at the battery, so the battery is using LG 2170 cells. Total capacity 2,590 watt hours, 74 volt, and that is quite comparable to other bikes on the market. It's a good size. Our understanding is that they might increase the ampere hours to 43 from 35. So if they can do that, that would give you more range. So that's quite a good thing. As far as the performance of the bike, definitely goes better in rocket mode. Rabbit mode's identical to the Surron. If we have a look at the chain around here, so it's using quite a long chain because of the way the drive is set up. There's no primary drive, so this is a longer chain. It's a 420 HS, and standard they're running a 420 58 tooth. There is a 54 tooth option, which would give you a higher top speed. Top speed we believe is around 70 kilometers an hour. Haven't timed it yet because that's not a speedo up there, that's really just a battery gauge and it tells you your modes. So we will time it later and see how it goes. It seems to be the Surron X is just a fraction faster. Ground clearance is important, especially for off-road, and this definitely has more ground clearance than the Surron X, so that's quite a good thing. As far as the controller goes, the controller's in this section through here, which once you lift the battery out you can see it. It seems like the cooling's quite good. Yet to tell in hard conditions, but we'll let you know how that goes. The motor has fins all around it and has a lot more airflow around it, so hopefully that keeps the motor cooler as well. And physically it is far bigger. It is a far bigger motor and wider, which is why they're claiming the extra torque, and they need that because of the direct drive, less reduction on the drives. So you know, overall it looks like a good quality bike. All the fittings are high quality, motorcycle grade, and that's likely why this is a bit heavier. It is a bit more robust, so the claimed weight is around 65 kilo, so they've added a bit of weight through the strength of the bike, so that's really a good thing. You don't feel the extra weight. There's just little things like the chain guards and the more robust components. So it looks like a really good bike. We're going to give it a good flogging and see how it handles off-road, and hopefully we come back with some good comments. So if you have any questions, any specific details that you want to know, drop us a message and we'd be happy to help, and we'll just see how these things go over time. I think that they've got a lot of potential. They should be a really good seller, and let's see if we can get a few out there and have some fun. Definitely electric bikes are moving in the right direction, so I think yeah, as time goes on they'll only get better and better.